Okay, it's happening again. Happy Healthy Vegan and Unnatural Vegan. They're having some video wars again. And this time it's about, of all things, protein. So Ryan started this one. I think he started all of them. There's nothing wrong with that. I do that. And then, of course, that unnatural bitch responded just like she did before. And now I have jumped in, like I did before. Except, this time, I'm going to step outside this box and not have this argument. That's tough. It's tough to do. Okay, I'll get into the protein a little bit, but then I'm going to get outside the box. But first of all, give you a little backstory on what's going on here. Ryan said the usual stuff, pulled out some scientific studies, and I basically agree with him. But that's not what I want to focus on. Then Unnatural Vegan came in, and here's what she had to say in her response to Ryan. Hi guys. So as you may have heard, Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan has made a video response to my video from 2 weeks ago, where I said that vegan YouTubers need more protein. Protein? Where I went through several vegan YouTubers, analyzing their protein input, specifically focusing on the amino acid lysine. And Ryan did a video response to that. So now I am doing my video response to his video response. So these two vegans, they're here on YouTube and they're familiar with Raw Till 4 and the 80-10-10 diet. So what could they possibly be arguing about that has to do about protein? Well, here's another clip of Unnatural Vegan making her a case. Well, about what?
Freely is active and has good blood test results, and so we don't have to worry about protein?
Correct. We never had to worry about it.
How does that follow, exactly? Anecdotes are stories, not...
We are not anecdotes. We are living proof.
Relying on anecdotes, as Ryan does here, is...
We're not relying on evidence. We're kicking ass.
This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N.
Okay, if you hope none of us make another video about her, Unnatural Vegan, give this video a thumbs up. I'm not finished yet, but if you do like this video, please share it around and subscribe to my channel, and I will keep going with this kind of stuff and better stuff. Yeah, I plan to do some health videos that will actually help people, unlike this kind of stuff.
Relying on anecdotes, as Ryan does here, is irrational, and it also can lead to some pretty dire consequences.
Like
anecdotes
what?
can be used to prove anything. If you want proof that vegan diets are dangerous, you will find anecdotes proving that claim.
Those are false anecdotes. Those are people that are lying. If she's trying to make a point that anyone can lie, she should just say that like I just said it. At one point, the unnatural one said that part of the reason plant protein is not as absorbable is because of the fiber. Oh, that's a good trick, because that sounds good, except eventually everything gets absorbed, most of it. The fiber just slows it down. And so she said, so when you eat beans, a lot of protein doesn't get absorbed, some of it doesn't, or whatever. And you should do things to make up for that. Things such as eating beans. Which have a lot of protein in it, see? But what if you don't eat beans? Beans are notorious for being a very hard to digest food, partly because of the fiber. That's one of the reasons people like me don't eat beans much. That's the reason for like high fruit diets, because fruit is the most easy to absorb food on the planet. Much easier than meat. Meat is not easy to absorb. And another point is, plants don't even have protein in them. So this is a ridiculous argument. You don't know how ridiculous it is to me. Being in this community, in this field for so many years, it's funny that this is a topic. Well, protein is what animals create for their muscles. That's what meat's the only thing with protein in it. The protein gets broken down into amino acids because that's what the body uses to make its own protein again. Our bodies, we got to break down the protein. That takes work. When you're eating plant protein, especially fruits, vegetables, grains, potatoes, easy to break down. That's amino acids. The protein, it's not even protein, it's already in the form that you need. And this is why it's optimum to get your protein from plants. I haven't thought about protein in like 4 years, and even before that I wasn't very obsessed with it. For those who don't know, Jenny Messina and Jack Norris are 2 registered vegan dietitians who blah blah blah, and they run a blah blah site with a lot of blah information. Now, I can only watch a part of her video. I can't watch it all 2 or 3 times to figure her out. I'm just not going to do that to myself. The only thing I can think of is she's dismissing Freely's facts or statistics in her life because she's just one person and therefore an anecdote. But she says that, well, Freely is probably getting enough for her. I don't know. I couldn't watch the whole video. just watch 3 minutes of it, and I could make a 10-minute video on that. But in her examples, the people she used, Freely had lower protein than anyone. This is basically an assumption she made, as in assumption. I don't think she's assuming anything. I think she's just an ass. Because she has to know better. What do you think? Do you know better? Is it pretty obvious what's going on? She actually used Freely as an example in her video of someone who's not getting enough protein. It's fine to make the case that you shouldn't listen to just 1 or 2 people. And I've said that many times in my videos. But this unnatural bitch isn't saying that. It's hard to say what she's saying. She's taking people, she probably took a bunch of famous people. Oh yeah, vegan YouTubers. That'll get a lot of views. And it did. That's another trend that works. Brings in the money. if she were to just say, don't rely on a few anecdotes, well, that wouldn't stir up much controversy. As a matter of fact, I know it doesn't stir up any. So I think it looks like she's just looking for ways to take things in science, sound principles, and twist them to make them controversial. So she's taking certain facts and putting them together, and she's making a statement, which, you know, the facts are fact, and it's scientific, but what happens, what's wrong with science is what happens to it when it comes from reality, and then it enters people's minds, and then stuff comes out of their mouths. She made just a terribly flawed statement saying vegans need more protein. Well, that's not scientific, because more than what? Well, she's making the case that because plant foods have less absorbable protein, that you need more. I guess she's implying you need more than a non-vegan who gets their protein from meat. What's wrong with this is that she is missing a big fact, a big factor. That is, meat eaters themselves don't need the amount they are eating. Is this unnatural bitch just trying to be overly scientific, overthinking, and over-analytical just to look smart? Or is she really saying, is she implying that Freely is lying? If she knew me, if she knew I existed, would she imply that I have been lying for 21 years? There was one comment that I read to Ryan that said, this trend, vegans criticizing each other, is very odd. If you're going to do this, why not have a face-to-face debate in real time? That would be much more helpful. Well, sure, it'd be helpful to the serious viewer who's looking for information on how to tweak their diet and feel self-confident in the way that they're eating for health.
I am kind of a face for veganism, one of the many faces for veganism here on YouTube. I just hit 40,000 subs, so have a fairly large following, and I think it is my responsibility to represent veganism in the best way possible.
Considering what I've said in this video, how many of her subscribers are actually vegan? I can't imagine who her subscribers would be. She's full of crap. There's her looks. There's her attitude. We see she's doing, there's nothing wrong with it. She's doing this for a career. So am I. So is Ryan. And just so many other people. That's what YouTube has become. If you want to get popular and have a career on the internet, you have to advertise. You have to drum up support and followers however you can. There's various ways of doing this. There's the natural way, and then there's... So if you've been looking at things at face value and you're confused, well, you should be, because that's part of the plan.